Now, as you guys know, I'm a firefighter, and one of the perks of my job is that I have a state pension when I retire. Now, I realize pensions are going the way of the dinosaur, pretty much going away. But anyway, I found this website that is going to tell me the 14 states that don't tax pensions in 2020. And if you take a look at this map here, you can see the first one is Alaska. Next one is Hawaii, Washington, Nevada, Wyoming, South Dakota, Texas, Illinois, Tennessee, Mississippi, Alabama, Florida, Pennsylvania, and up here in the far northeast, New Hampshire. So, states that don't tax pensions in 2020. Many hardworking citizens look forward to when they get to retire. After nearly a lifetime of work, many Americans get to finally cash in on their retirement plans, like a pension plan. Pension plan is a type of retirement plan that is made up of contributions from the employer. In some cases, the employee may also be able to contribute to the plan, and the employer can make these funds up to a set limit or certain percentage. A pension plan assures a person that he or she will be able to have an income following retirement. Unfortunately, though, in many states, pension funds can be taxed just like ordinary income. Laws vary from state to state regarding how pensions are taxed. In some cases, at least a portion is taxed on the amount of money in the plan and the age of the retiree. However, in other states, pensions aren't taxed at all. Let's take a look at the states that don't tax pensions. All right, you guys, and these are just in alphabetical order. First is Alabama. This state doesn't tax pension income from a defined benefit retirement plan. That's what mine is. Alaska. Because Alaska doesn't have an income tax, you won't pay taxes on your pension or other income. Florida. Like Alaska, Florida doesn't have an income tax, so your pension will not be taxed. Hawaii. Public and private pensions aren't taxed in Hawaii with one exception. Any portion that you contributed will be taxed. Illinois. Private pensions from qualified employee benefit plans are exempt from taxation in Illinois. So that might mean that mine would be taxable because it's a public pension. Mississippi. Pensions used after age 59 and a half are not taxed in Mississippi. So they have a 59 and a half rule in Mississippi. In Nevada. Nevada has no income tax, which means that your pension will not be taxed after retirement. New Hampshire. New Hampshire is another state with no income taxes, so there is no tax on pension income. There is, however, taxes on interest and dividends. And I'd like to know what that taxation is, so maybe we'll look in this second page. Pennsylvania. The only time pensions are taxed in this state is when you retire early. So, again, we don't know what a retiring early age is. South Dakota. There are no income taxes in the state of South Dakota. Tennessee. Taxes are only paid on interest and dividends in this state, not on pensions. Texas. No personal income tax means that Texans can hold on to their pension funds and not pay any tax. Washington is another state without income tax, but it does have an extremely high cost of living. Wyoming. Like many other states on this list, Wyoming does not have an income tax. So let's go into this Kiplinger page, you guys, and this is 14 states that won't tax your pension. First is Alabama. Retiring to Alabama can be a smart move if you're relying heavily on a pension in your golden years. Alabama won't tax your pension income if it comes from a defined benefit retirement plan. The state also exempts military retirement pay and income from a long list of government pensions. 401ks and IRAs. While the Yellowhammer state is pretty good to retirees when it comes to tax, it doesn't exempt all retirement income. Distributions from traditional IRAs or 401k plans are taxed as ordinary income. Alabama doesn't tax Social Security benefits, though, and that's another big plus for retirees. So let's take a look at the income tax range for 401k and IRA distributions. Alabama's rate is 2% up to $1,000 and 5% more than $6,000. So pretty much everybody seems to be about 5% in Alabama. Okay, as Alaska, we know that everything, they don't tax these, so they don't tax your pension, they don't tax your 401k or IRAs, and of course they don't tax Social Security benefits. Florida also doesn't have an income tax, so let's see if there's anything funny here. Pensions, your pension will not be taxed in Florida. It's It's also good because there's no state taxes on your distributions from 401ks or IRAs, and they also do not tax Social Security benefits, which is a good thing. Hawaii. Feel like taking up surfing in your later years? If so, the Aloha State might be the place to retire. Retirement distributions from a private or public pension plan are tax-free in Hawaii. That is, as long as you didn't make contributions to the plan. So as we said, if you made contributions to the plan, that portion will be taxed. Distributions from 401k and IRAs are generally treated the same for tax purposes as they are federal purposes. So you will be taxed. Let's see. An additional state deduction may be available for employer-funded portion of distributions if a lump sum distribution of an otherwise tax-free pension plan is rolled over to an IRA. So there's special benefit there. And Hawaii does not tax Social Security. Illinois. The Prairie State completely exempts private pensions from tax as long as it's from a qualified benefit plan. You won't pay taxes from government or military pensions either. Well, that's good to know. Illinois is very taxpayer friendly when it comes to 401ks and IRAs. Distributions are tax-free if the plan is qualified employee benefit plan. IRA distributions are not taxed either. That's an interesting thing. It also does not tax Social Security. And the income tax range in Illinois is a flat 4.95%. Mississippi. The Magnolia State is one of the more tax-friendly states for retirees. It doesn't tax your pension as long as you are 59 and a half. The same goes for 401ks and IRAs. Mississippi does not tax Social Security. And the income tax range for taxable income, the lowest is 3% and the top is 5%. Nevada, we know, does not have income tax, so the Silver State won't tax your pension, your 401k, your IRAs, or your Social Security. New Hampshire. New Hampshire is the only New England state without a general income tax. The state imposes a tax on interest and dividends instead. That means no tax on your pension income if you retire in the Granite State. So obviously it doesn't either tax your 401ks or your IRAs or Social Security. There is a flat 5% tax on interest and dividends only. Not too shabby. 5% is much better than what we pay here in Oregon, which is ordinary income. Pennsylvania. There's plenty of good news for retirees in Pennsylvania. For one thing, the Keystone State doesn't tax pension income you receive from an eligible employer-sponsored retirement plan, unless you retire early. As with pension income, money you receive from a 401k or IRA after retiring is not taxed by Pennsylvania. Now, it doesn't say what the early retirement age is, so I'm assuming they're going 62, 65. You guys, if you know, do me a favor and put it in the comments. If you're from Pennsylvania and you know what that early retirement age is in that state, please put it in the comments so we know. The income tax range in Pennsylvania is a flat rate of 3.07%. However, municipalities can tax earned income as well. So, depending on where you live, might be a little more. South Dakota. South Dakota is a pretty good state for retirees. No income tax, so there's no tax on your pension income, your 401k, or your IRAs. And of course, there's no income tax on the Social Security as well. Number 11, Tennessee. Retirees in the volunteer state don't pay taxes on their pension income. They only pay income tax on interest and dividends, and that tax even goes away after 2020. There's also no tax on money taken out of your 401k or your IRA. No tax on Social Security. The income tax range, there's a flat 2% tax on interest and dividends only. That rate goes to 1% in 2020 and then to 0 in 2021. Texas. As we know, Texas has no income tax state-wise. So they don't tax your pension income. They're not going to touch your 401k or your IRAs. And of course, they don't tax Social Security either. Washington, another of the states that has no income tax. So no pension tax on your pension, no tax on your 401ks or IRAs. And Social Security benefits escape Washington taxes as well. Number 14, Wyoming. Wyoming doesn't have an income tax, so you don't have to worry about state tax on your pension, on your 401ks, or your IRAs. The Cowboy State is also very tax-free taxpayer friendly, as it does not take a share of your Social Security income either. So you guys, those are the 14 states that will not tax your pension income. Now, because this isn't the only consideration, obviously, I have for my retirement. Taxes are certainly a thing, but quality of life, living in an environment where you enjoy the weather. But I feel like the more knowledge you have about different destinations and different possible retirement locations can make you make a more informed decision for you and your family when it comes time to retire. Remember, taxes are a big portion for some people. May not be as big a deal for you. For me, being in a nice, sunny, warm location is important to my wife and I, and that's what we're going to do. But I also like the idea of knowing if it came to crunch time, I could go someplace where my pension wouldn't be taxed. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments. I hope you got something out of this. If you did, do me a favor. Give me that like, turn the button blue. It really helps the algorithm. If you're not already subscribed, you guys, you know the deal. Smash that subscribe button. Ring the bell. You'll get notified every time I make a video. All right, we'll see you. Thanks.